5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
You are listening to Stay Tuned El Paso with Victor Cruz and Charlie Moreno.
Best thing to happen to El Paso ever.
The greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
All right, good day, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is you're listening to this. Stay tuned, El Paso, Victor Cruz, Charlie Moreno, and of course Erica, who's now part of the team. We're going to have our voice lady and voice guy change all that up for us here very soon.
Yeah, I got to get another batch of voiceover work.
Wow.
And add Eric, do you want to use your last name or just the first name?
I really don't care.
Or make up a last name?
I think I'm going for the share thing here. I think I'll just stick with
Are you
with
going to
the
go with
one
plastic
name.
surgery? What?
No, I don't want to look like that.
Oh,
she's gonna come over with pantyhose and show her ass.
wow. She's only been on the show twice. Let's see what happens on week number 3. Goodness gracious. Give her some time. It's getting
We're
warmer.
progressing.
Yeah. You said she was bringing the estrogen. I'm still waiting.
Hey.
You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso. I'm not sure what episode number we're up to. Almost to the 30s, 27,
Something
28,
like that.
29. Getting close to it. Make sure as you are listening to this, join in on the conversations, if you will. Hashtag STEP. Also like us on our Facebook pages. Do we have the Twitters? I don't know if we still have the Twitters.
Yeah,
The
it's just
Tweeters.
Stay Tuned El Paso on Twitter, and I think we have an Instagram, but I don't think I've ever
updated or
yeah.
posted. Yeah.
But Facebook is pretty much what we're always on.
Speaking of updating, am I going to have to wear a hat and shorts for the logo?
Yes.
No, we could just let me
stand
explain.
with your arms crossed.
Yes.
No, not at all. Let me just tell you what happened. Charlie took one picture of me and just modified it to look like him. So
yes, I know.
Yeah.
we'll surely have to do something with the graphics and just put, I don't know, hospital.
I took
No,
his
just
silhouette
put purple hair on it.
and I duplicated it, and then I made it shorter and fatter, and it looks like me.
So it's really just one of the
Perfect.
same. Yeah. Absolutely. What's been going on? What's the latest? What's happening?
Shootings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Pretty much.
Well, just one.
18
for now.
It's been 18. Everything that I've read on Facebook says
It's only
been
3:30. There
Yeah.
might be another one. Who knows?
It's still a little. Now we're kind of sort of making light of only because misinformation and so on and so
Yes.
forth. What I want to do is I want to keep the shootings
We'll keep it separate.
separate from what we're talking
Yes.
about today.
We're keeping it light on this one.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in a quote unquote gun expert of some sort a little bit later on for our next episode that we're recording.
Actually, the next episode we're recording after this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that one up today.
So
And then the one we're recording right now is going to be next week.
if
Oh,
you haven't
that's-
gotten confused or cross-eyed yet, we're just keeping the shootings on a separate
I'm there.
podcast.
Yeah.
I'm
So
there.
that'll come up. Maybe you've already heard it at this point. Now I have no idea what we're talking about. But we do have a guest with us this afternoon that Charlie knows rather well. I've met once or twice. And Erica, your first time meeting?
Yes.
Debbie. Hello, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you?
Your full name, Debbie Ruz?
Deborah Elizabeth Ruz.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to make sure.
R-U-Z.
I've known you for so long, but I've always just called you Debbie.
Yeah.
So I never knew how to pronounce Ruz or Russ or.
Yeah, everybody puts an I in my name. I
Ruiz?
can't figure it
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's for
it's-
sure.
Yeah, it's R-U-Z. And just so you know, we're on Facebook Live, so I want my friends to know that I'm on a podcast.
Nice.
There's Charlie.
And is this Facebook Live now, or is it? Are we
Yeah.
going to rerun it for tomorrow or
No,
whatever?
it's live.
Okay. I wish I had a clamp out or something to put up.
Oh, what now?
Huh? Well, that's a whole different. That's
Oh my
podcast number
goodness.
3.
Yeah, so we can
For
let
my-
everybody know where to go listen to this on your podcast.
Yeah, it's not live, but it's Stay Tuned El Paso on Facebook.
Stay tuned, El Paso.
Yeah, Stay Tuned El Paso.
Stay tuned, El Paso.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay
El Paso.
tuned,
Right.
El Paso.
Yeah.
And they can get this on Facebook or?
Well, yeah, it's not.
All right.
It's not live except for yours, but
Yeah, we'll post it later and they
And
can
the
go
link.
look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They can tell
absolutely.
me how horrible I did. So
You're
that's good.
you're doing the best out of all of us, and we've been doing this for a couple of months. Trust me.
I love to talk, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Well, give us a bit of tell us who you're with, what you're doing, what brought you in, all that background information, so that we can get in with.
Awesome. Well, I've known Charlie for many years.
like 3. Like
No,
like
many.
15.
No, like 20 years.
Like 20 years probably. Well, how old am I? Yeah, close to 20 years. Yeah.
And I met him when I started volunteering with a charity here in El Paso called Reach for a Star of El Paso. We're an all-volunteer charity, and I joke around and say we're like the pit bulls of charity work and stuff because nobody knows that we exist. So we're trying to get the word out.
You're just bred indiscriminately,
Yes.
nonstop, having
Yes.
puppies everywhere.
In a backyard somewhere.
We need to go and spay Deborah.
I'm
Anybody
telling you.
know where I can get charity work done? And there's a guy. I know a guy. Come here, like in his
Well,
backyard.
actually, that's really what
to my backyard.
That's what people know about us because we do give volunteer hours and we encourage people to come and help us. But the best thing about us is that, like I said, we're all volunteers. So we all work full time. We do this because we love the kids. We grant wishes to kids that are critically ill. I didn't say terminally ill. I said critically ill because we're trying to change that concept. Back in the day when you got a wish, we practically knew that you probably weren't going to be around much longer. And we're trying to change that, which we've done. I'm very proud of this charity. We grant wishes to children from El Paso, Las Cruces, even children that are being treated here from Juarez. They can get a wish. We don't do trips, but they can have anything else they want. We will do our best to grant that wish.
You said it's local, but there's no other chapters of this. This is only
Yeah, just
in the
El
region.
Paso, yes.
Yeah.
We've been around since 1982. We were actually started by 3 firemen who were part of Make-A-Wish, and they wanted to do something local. They wanted to keep the money here. It was way before my time. And I happened to come on a couple years after that, and I've been volunteering with them ever since. It's awesome.
What are the types of wishes? You said you don't do trips, so if a child wanted to go to Disneyland or whatever, you don't do that. But what are some of the things that you can do?
Oh, we do amazing wishes. We had a little boy many years ago who is 4 years old, and thank God he's still with us, and he wanted a NASCAR bed. So I actually reached out to some friends in the biker community, and Bruce Ingalls, he actually found a bed on where you can bid on it online.
Yeah.
He got us a bed, and we started thinking, how can we grant this wish and make it like the best day of his life? So we actually went out to the racetrack, and we put his name in lights, and it was called Ethan's Race. And we made T-shirts that said Ethan's Pit Crew, and then he had a little shirt on that said, I am Ethan. And so they let him start the race. He got trophies. He got to ride around in the cars, and it was an amazing day. He did not sleep in that bed, not one time. It was he slept with his mom, but he wanted a bed for his friends, and all the drivers pitched in and gave him goodies, and we decorated his room, and that's one wish. We had another little girl. She was a twin, and she wasn't girly. Most little girls want to get their nails done and their hair and things done, but she was kind of a tomboy. So we did with the roller derby league. I don't remember which one, and I'm sorry, but they made her an honorary roller derby girl, and they named her Strawberry Short Skate. She was in a wheelchair, and we did. God did take her home. But that day we had them run around the track, and each person gave her a rose. So she was full of roses. She wanted an iPad, and then everybody chipped in to give her little gift cards. And what was nice is I went on Facebook and said, hey guys, I want her to feel famous. Will you all make signs and show up this day at the race and hold up your signs screaming her name? And they did. We had several people show up. In fact, that's when I met the Traviesos Motorcycle Club that day, and they put her on the bike and they took pictures. So we've had some really unique wishes.
You work a lot, really closely with some of the bike clubs also, because I know that you do a lot of poker runs and stuff like that. Can you go into that?
We used to do that. We used to. Unfortunately, we are no longer doing things with the association.
Okay.
We've kind of just decided that with everything going on in, recently with the motorcycle patches, we decided to just keep our kids safe and, stay out of politics and stuff. So We're doing awesome. The independents support us.
Things got awkward quick.
Yeah,
She mentioned-
it's
yeah.
an awkward conversation. I want you to know.
I was okay with the kids, but when she brought up the motorcycles, I was like, oh man, yeah, we better not even go.
Let's just say this grandma picked a fight with the big boys, and it didn't go too well for the charity. But that's okay.
That's
we
fine.
are doing awesome work. The Lowrider Association still supports us.
Good.
The independents still support us, and that's all we need.
You do any work with a dear friend of ours, Mondo Espinosa?
Oh, I love Mondo and
Okay.
his wife.
That-
They have always, in fact,
Yeah.
my very first bar
Awkward
fight
laugh.
was
Another one, yeah.
is with the Lowrider Association. Somebody picked me up and threw me in the back of a lowrider because I was calling out all their names at a bar fight. It was real funny.
With your consent? Or
Yeah, no, without their consent. They're like, "You're a snitch."
Oh,
man.
That was 20 years ago. But you know
Yeah.
what?
Oh, okay.
They do awesome.
The statute of
They
limitations is over.
Yeah. They love these kids. And that's what I want. I want people that don't have an agenda, that love these kids, that
Yeah.
understand they're knocking on God's door. We just did a really neat wish. It's Jojo. I hope his mom hears this. Jojo's fighting for his life right now. He just got out of the hospital. We got really close to losing him. But he wanted a motorcycle. And so I saw something on Facebook. And so I made some phone calls. And again, the Travieso stepped up. And we showed up at his house and we put him on one of those little electric bikes.
Yeah.
But then all the guys got behind him in the Northeast and they followed him down the road.
Nice.
And they were kind of walking their Harleys behind him. And
Oh,
it was
cool.
a great wish.
And then
cool.
Buzz Adams showed up with his electric bike and screwed it all up.
Try to take a left turn
I
into a wall.
remember that day.
Did
and
we
stuff,
keep all the
no.
doors and walls away from him this time?
Well, it's because Wile E.
Open
Coyote
areas.
was out there and he painted it with one quick stroke, and they thought
Yeah.
they could go through the tunnel, but that
Buzz
wasn't
needs
the
to
case.
just dress up in Nerf everywhere he goes.
Yeah. But it's a good thing. You know, everybody out there supports this charity. And because we're not as big as Make-A-Wish, and which I want you to know they do awesome work. And they're a great charity.
But
you
yeah.
know, we're small. We don't have any of that big support. So our wishes are really unique. And I want you to know that this club, oh my goodness, this organization, not club, we stay with them forever. Even when they're 21 years old and they're getting married, they're still our wish kid. And we invite, every year we invite past wishes. We invite kids that we haven't granted wishes to. We do a haunted house. We do Easter. We had our first Christmas house this year. We had real snow.
Wow.
Santa came on a fire truck. It was just great.
So if we're going to take anything away from this, obviously it's all about local. You're a local organization. You're helping the
Yes.
local kids, and you're making these wishes on a local level. So if anybody, any organization locally wants to get involved with you guys or help make a donation, volunteer sometime, I'm sure you're always looking for that.
We are always looking for volunteers, and it's hard because when you work full time, and we can't recognize our volunteers like bigger organizations, so you know they kind of get discouraged sometimes. But we can't do these wishes without support from the community. If you're interested, I'd like to tell you I have some really
we're not.
well, I'll tell you anyway. I am very proud to tell you guys something. We have spent hardly no money in the last 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And we have granted some amazing wishes. One of our volunteers, Elizabeth, she's actually 2 years in a row. In one day, she's granted over 15 wishes in one day. It's a project that she has done 2 years in a row. But this is what we decided. There's so much fraud out in the community, and people are hesitant to donate money. So we thought out of the box and said, let's do this. Let's invite the community. Instead of giving us money, why don't they come and grant a wish? Why don't you come meet our kids? We will mentor you. And if you don't have the money, then we'll pay for that item. I'll give an example. Let's say there's an iPad a child wants. You guys can buy the iPad, but see, it's not that easy just to give them an iPad. It's got to be the best day of their life. What kind of music do they like? Are they a Dallas Cowboy fan? Or maybe they like basketball. Maybe they like rock and roll music. We need to meet that child, find out what their favorite color is. Do they have any siblings? One of my most dearest favorite wishes was Wish Simon. And this wish humbled me. And this is what made me realize that we need to share this experience with the community. Simon's family does not have a lot of money. And he wanted a shopping spree. But Simon, not only did he have cancer, he also had, I believe he had autism. And so did his older brother. So when we granted his wish at Walmart, the mom was like, no, mijo. No, that's too expensive. And no. And then the brother was like, no, get this game. Oh, this is a good game. And so I pulled the Traviesos. It's by coincidence. They were the group that granted that wish. And they paid for that. We didn't. We pulled them aside and we said, look, this is going to have to be a family wish. The mom needs to understand that this is for her children. And so we made sure both boys got whatever they wanted that day. Yeah. And it was really hard for mom and dad because they didn't want them. They wanted, oh my God, I'm crying. Hold on.
Stop
Socks.
it. Stop.
Catch yourself. You got it.
Stop it.
And stuff. And it's like, no, mijo, whatever you want. You want a Game Boy? You want a PlayStation? You go get that PlayStation.
Mom and Dad were trying to be practical.
They were being practical. And you know, guys, my biggest donors are those families that have nothing and the wishes that we've granted in the past. It's really humbling. There's a misconception. These kids come in and they want grandeur and they don't. We have to pull it out of them what they want, and it's always something for their siblings, their parents. It's very rare they'll say, I want a trip to Disneyland. You know, they'll say, oh, I want a little Barbie. Well, don't you want to meet Barbie? You know, we have to kind of like pull that out of
a Barbie dream house, perhaps, or whatever, instead of. You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso, Debbie Ruz of Reach for a Star. I mean, I think you just kind of caught all of us off guard a little bit with that story. And again, local wishes are what you're looking for. You know, it's always, we talked about this before, Charlie and I think Erica was in on the conversation, or maybe not, I don't remember, but it's always easy for somebody to sit at a stoplight and take $5, $10 and give to the person on the corner. Mm-hmm. And I've always said, I implore you, instead of taking that money and giving it to somebody on the corner, how much more would $5 go, $10 go to an organization like Reach for a Star? How much money, how many ways can you make that $5, $10 stretch in a day? Or like you said, actually go to the organization and grant those wishes. How expensive as an individual would it really be for me to grant somebody's wish?
And this is such a good teaching method, or a way to bond with your children, to meet other children, to see what it's like to be fighting a disease. And here's the best part, guys. You get to make a difference. There are people that spend thousands of dollars wanting to make a difference. And here in El Paso, we can make a difference just by spending the day with somebody, teaching a child to be a buddy to another child. At Easter, we had 600 kids at our event last year, and it's in the park in front of my personal home. And it was so nice to see kids helping other kids in wheelchairs to pick up eggs and to be their buddy and to do face painting. And Reach for Star, we really want to help the community know how to make a difference, but to meet these families and meet these children.
Is this Easter event turning into an annual thing?
Will you be holding it again this year? We're doing it again this year. We do ask for donations. You will never, ever hear Reach for Star ask for money. Charlie, have I ever asked you for money?
Well, not for the organization.
Before Erica got here, she was looking for something to eat. Can I have $5?
Maybe for sexual favors.
Well, I don't.
Okay, that's a different show.
He said, I'll do that for free.
But, you know,
I'll donate.
What we do is we'll ask for stuffed animals, and we'll ask for candies, you know, ask for people to come dress up in the Easter costume. The haunted house, I
tease that with Victor and Erica, because that's something that I see you do every year. And every year it blows my mind. And I've only volunteered once, but my God, I look forward to seeing the pictures every single year. Tell them about the haunted house.
Well, let me tell you about the haunted house. Mm-hmm. It's a twist. You're going to love this, Erica. So I do it in my house, and it's the whole house. It's from the front door to the back door, the backyard and stuff. But we put a twist on Halloween. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. We have the Wish kids come, and I give them silly string, and they come in the house and they kill zombies. But the zombies represent childhood cancer, human trafficking, whatever these children have gone through. we make it a point where they get, and this is how naive I am. The first year we did it, I thought the kids would take a little can and squirt you once and kill you. Oh no. They want to unload the whole can. I had silly string for months in my lights. My house is brand new. The walls everywhere. And then I told the zombies, well, they're going to probably fight you. They were kicking them in the head. They were stomping on them, standing on top of the zombies. And so we're going to have to tweak it a little bit, maybe not to have so much hands-on. But the kids loved it.
How long have you been doing that? It's because I've known you for a long time, but I know you've been doing it for a while.
I graduated 90, I graduated in 92.
Since 1992.
92, I've been
That's
doing
insane.
this. And I love it. This year, like I said, we decided to have Santa come to the house, and we got real snow donated by 915. We had, it was an amazing day to see those kids. And it's so funny because that snow is horrible, and they're sticking their tongue out, choking on it. So
Oh, it's not ice, obviously.
No,
it's that fake
that
plasticky.
soapy stuff that they did, and it was crazy. But I want you to know my Facebook family is what makes all these wishes granted, plus the volunteers. We have awesome volunteers. Sylvia Salinas, Elizabeth. I'm going to go blank. I know I am. There's
too many of them.
Susie Morales. Yeah, all of them. Yeah. David Chen is a great mentor. I actually reached out to him. He's the one that owns that restaurant, the Crab Place, Crab King.
Oh, okay.
And he actually, through our Facebook and through Facebook, we Reach for Star, we help other charities. So we actually helped a school get toys for every one of their students because he saw it on our website. So
yeah, and I remember you doing you're doing donation drives all the time. I've seen you do
for everybody,
like jackets and backpacks and all sorts of stuff. What are some of the? I mean, there's so many, but what are some of the other ones that you've
Well,
done?
I have to make a disclosure. Reach for Star, our mission is to grant wishes.
Right.
But because I've been doing it so long, I'm going to start another charity called It's a Debbie Thing, because I'm always having to say it's not a Reach for Star thing, it's
Right.
a Debbie thing, so that we don't get into trouble. So those things are a Debbie thing. That means somebody called me and said, Debbie, we got some kids that need jackets. I just go on there and say, hey, guys. And I don't accept donations. I don't accept money. I don't accept gift cards. I'll just say where to go take them. And my mission statement is empowering others to make a difference.
Yeah.
So between Reach for Star and this, we make a difference every day.
So you started with Reach for a Star and eventually branched off into...
I'm trying to. I'm not there yet. I'm trying. If
But
anybody
you-
wants to help me.
But you've always been the type to go out on your own and help other people there's way too many things that I can think of. I remember one year you were asking for people to help take heaters to the elderly.
Oh, yeah, that was for the Weather Task Force for the city. Yeah.
And I remember going and loading up my car, and there's people picking up heaters and taking them all over
fans,
the place.
the fans, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the fans.
Yeah.
And as long as I've known you, you're not one person that just goes to this organization, volunteers, a few hours a week.
Yeah.
This is 24/7 for you.
Yeah.
That's all you ever.
It's a Debbie thing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
My
always
friends
been
hide
you.
from me. They're like, if I give you 20, will you go away? Because I'm like, no, I don't want 20. I want you to bake cookies. I want you to do this. I have to tell you guys, though, this is because of the Motorcycle Association, the coalition.
Yeah.
That's where I started, and I have to give them kudos. The very first group was the Bandidos, and then it was the Iron Horses with Lico Subia, and so they have been wonderful supporters. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that I don't appreciate that, and one day it'll be good again.
Yeah.
And then the Lowrider Association was one of my very first wishes with them. I remember it was at the what's that hall that's like from San Antonio, Alamo.
Yeah.
They drove a lowrider, Leo Rivera, and he didn't tell me he was going to throw switches. So inside this expensive hall, this lowrider starts bumping up and down, and I'm having a heart attack. No, don't throw switches. And then the comedy, that's how I met Charlie on a comedian set, and I asked him not to offend everybody, and they offended everybody in 5 minutes.
I was
yeah.
about to say.
Yeah.
I don't have a filter. We didn't.
You tell her not out to.
group.
He tries harder.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they did. Girl, all I could do was apologize to the Dallas Cowboys that were there that day. And
But it was a success.
but let me get, was Chewy involved?
yes.
Ah, well, then
yeah,
he's right
and
there.
all
That's
that.
the whole point.
Yeah, like Erica said, the last thing you want is to say,
Don't do this.
Don't do jokes about this, or don't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
That's the Gilbert Gottfried rule. Whatever you do, don't say.
yeah, and then open with it.
Well, you know, the El Paso community is so giving, you guys. I can't tell you.
It really is.
And Charlie, how many times have you heard me? Nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to
Yeah.
donate. And then my living room is overflowing with candies and stuffed animals and cakes.
Let me take a step back with you. How many years
Sure.
you said you've been doing this?
How many years?
Yeah.
Since like 1992.
So between then and now, obviously with the temperature and changes of things in society, what changes have you seen in donations or in trying to help these kids? What?
Oh, it's so hard now because of all the fraud. I mean, even here in El Paso, you know, we'll be doing a fundraiser and somebody will come out and say they had cancer and they didn't. We've really seen them because of false things that have happened. I know I'm not making any sense. They rather donate to big charities, Make-A-Wish, Candlelighters, which they're all well deserving. But El Paso, Reach for Star, what we need right now is, I've got the wishes covered because everybody's been coming through, but we need things like a computer. We need someone to help us with our website, teach us how to grow because we're kind of stagnant. I think we have 8 volunteers right now, and we do amazing work with just 8 volunteers. Can you imagine if I had a real board and a real huge following? We could do so many more wishes.
What about, and surely, social media helps you in so many ways, but I can also imagine social media kind of hurts you at points.
No, you know what? I've learned not to listen to the haters and the people that throw doubt because we have a good standing in the community. And actually, Facebook has been my best friend when it comes to these wishes.
Really?
Not just for them, but I do in my own job. I'm going to throw a plug in there. I work at Outreach Healthcare, and we actually do an orphanage in Juarez. And they support all my charity work that I do. And so all I have to do is get on Facebook, somebody's house burnt down, and we need this. And I've never had any bad pushback or anything so far.
What about people claiming they're with your organization? You mentioned fraud or whatever.
We've taken some hits. We had a grandma of one of our clients who was a con artist, and she promised to give us some iPads and computers, and we went every day to the post office waiting for this great gift, and it turned out she was a con artist. We've had kids that weren't sick tried to come through the system, but we make sure a doctor signs off on an application and we have it notarized. So we do try to make sure that we make sure the kids are really needy.
Now Victor's trying to pretend he's sick.
Yeah, and I do get that line every day. I want you to grant me a wish. Yeah.
I want to meet Barbie.
Yeah, I want a Barbie dream house. You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso. I'm still fighting this whatever last remnants of
Oh my goodness.
cold or flu or whatever it is. It's
Maybe
better
you should
not get
face the
sick.
other way.
yeah. Well, I was
Or go to the other room.
you want me
I
to
have a long cable.
run the
It
cord in.
doesn't
my
matter now. We're
headphones?
in his house.
Do you want to hear about
Done.
another wish?
Sure, yeah, please.
We had a young lady who had brain cancer, and she was paralyzed on one of her arms, and she wanted to go to college. She was not going to let this sickness hold her back. So after talking to her, she loved to read. So we came up with this great idea at Barnes & Noble. We made her the author of the day. So they announced it. This author was coming. We pulled up in a white limousine, and we had a desk for her to sign autographs, and people donated to her, and we got her a laptop, but a special laptop so that she could use it.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite wishes also.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's the age limit? You talk about the kids and stuff, and kids that want to go to college.
Well,
but do you cut
actually-
off any 18-year-old?
Yeah, we're going to change our bylaws. We're meeting this month to do that. We're hoping to do the ages of 2 and the day before their 19th birthday or their 19th birthday, because Candlelighters, is it their 19th birthday?
It's been a few years since I've
We want to
been
make
there.
sure we're all on the same
Yeah.
wavelength. That way nobody gets left out. I will tell you, if they don't meet our criteria, we still find somebody else to help grant that wish.
Yeah. It doesn't just stop because they don't meet
Right.
the
We
requirements.
we never say no. Even if we have to go out in the community and say, okay, we can't grant their wish, they don't meet the criteria, but we would love to find someone out there who can help us grant this wish.
What are some of the biggest challenges you've seen since you started doing this? Like trying to get people to help or just running or an organization like this?
Our biggest challenge is finding volunteers and keeping them. I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you. Because we're not so big, we don't have dinners, we don't have rewards. I mean, literally, you guys, I've been the president off and on since 1992. I pick up trash, I beg, I cook. You know, and some people, when they join a board, they want it to be more of a fancy thing, and that we're not. We're not
Something
about
for the
that.
resume or
Right.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And no, we work these wishes. We're at the car show. We're the first one there. We're the last one to leave. Any of the bike runs we've done, they've been very successful. But we helped with the donations. We help with that event that day. We don't just wait for a check.
Yeah.
We work them.
You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso, Victor Cruz, Charlie Moreno, Erica, and
Charlie.
Debbie's with us. Yeah, Charlie. What's your name? Vic, Charlie, Erica, and Debbie's with us. People want to get a hold of you. Like I said, make time, make donations, make a wish come true. How can they get a hold of the organization?
Well, Reach for a Star, we do have a phone number. It's 532-7908, and we have a volunteer, Rick, that answers that line. Or you can call me personally at 474-0055. That's my personal cell number, and I never turn it off. Right now, we're doing our Easter event. It's going to be on the 31st from 12 to 4. And we are definitely looking for volunteers. We're looking for hot dogs, water, chips, stuffed animals.
So
Rabbits.
the date again is when?
The 31st of February.
Okay.
No, March. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's why I'm
Hello.
thinking. So
March.
if,
I'm
31st
sorry.
of February.
I'm still trying to get through
Why,
Valentine's.
that's just around the corner.
I will wait.
You should come
for
and
that
dress
day.
up, Charlie. I have tons
As
of
Jesus?
costumes.
And they
No,
just come
we
out
have
of
rabbits.
cave?
We have Hello Kitty costumes. We're very blessed that one of the moms of our Wish kids donated so many costumes. It's unreal.
yeah.
Could you dress up as Pennywise from your other?
Oh, that would
Dude,
be
that would
nice.
be great
Yeah.
for Easter.
Little Pennywise Easter clown.
You know what we need is a storage room. We're paying $100 a month for storage, but that's $100 that we can't use on a Wish. So if anybody out there has a warehouse or a storage room they would like to donate, we can write a donation letter that we really need more room for
About
this
what
stuff.
size storage are you looking for?
Right now we have a small one and we're busting out of it. So we need I'm going to say a good medium size one.
10 by 10 or
Yeah,
something like
somewhere
that?
around there.
Okay. All right. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody listening knows somebody or
Between-
has one.
All the Halloween stuff and Christmas. I mean, we're interchanging. My garage looks horrible.
Yeah.
'cause,
Any preference on the location? Centrally located,
No.
east side, or?
Beggars can't be choosy.
That's-
Wherever they want to donate it, we'll take it.
Okay. So if anybody out there has a storage business, or if you're willing to donate to pay for a storage, hit us up or call Debbie at her cell phone, and then you guys can work out something. And if somebody has a storage building that is willing to donate a unit, we'll advertise your business on this podcast and
wow,
any other
thank you.
podcast for at least a year.
Sure.
Every episode for at least a year.
We'll cover that
as
cost.
long as that,
Yep.
as long as they have access to that storage unit, we'll promote your business. So hopefully, somebody out there knows
And you
somebody.
need to go back on stage. I need another comics.
No.
That was one of our good fundraisers.
No,
A comic.
people don't deserve to suffer.
Oh my goodness, you were
No.
so
These
funny.
kids are suffering enough. Now they have to watch Charlie's routine
Yes.
from the 90s.
In
Bring
this social climate, oh
man.
my God, I wouldn't last a minute.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
You would offend somebody like
Oh,
super fast.
oh,
He
It would
offends,
be on-
he offends
does.
someone every day.
It would
I'm
be
sure
on
he already offended
Twitter.
a couple of people.
Yeah, my bosses are always like, filter, Debbie, filter.
Yeah. No.
Well, no,
And-
you've
and-
done fine here.
And that's a huge reason why I wanted to have you on the show before, not just this time, but I wanted to have you before because as long as I've known you, you've always had a really good sense of humor.
Oh,
and
thank you.
there's Debbie on the radio and Debbie out in public, and then there's private Debbie, and we have made some jokes that we won't share here, but man, you have such a great sense of humor, and I know.
You mean today before we got set up? Yeah, there was a couple of things.
And I know because as somebody that's been through a lot of trauma in life, you have to have a sense of humor.
Turning 55 is really tough.
That's traumatic for you.
You don't have.
That's traumatic.
You know what?
Okay.
If you can't, let me tell you, turning 55 is really tough. I just did something on Facebook about, nipple hair and dryness and
What?
just turning. It's
that your-
hard.
is that
For
your
women,
fetish?
it's just.
I'm sure she shared a link or something.
Yes, it's hard. You have to have
Surgeon Google.
you have to have a sense of humor.
The nipples get dry?
No,
Oh. So many things I don't understand.
it's rough. It's tough. But I've learned that you have to, and when you're around death all the time, I do hospice, home health.
Yeah.
You have to find humor, and you have to get up every day and say, I'm going to love life, and I'm going to make a difference.
It's the only way you survive it.
That's right. And you have to laugh.
Yeah.
And you said something that one of the first things you said that I took as a positive out of all of this is that not a lot of the kids on the reach for a star side of it, the kids aren't terminally ill.
Right. We don't say that because we want them to get, better. We believe in miracles. And there was a year, a couple years ago, we lost about 12 kids. And it was tough to say, I'm not going to, I would tell myself, I'm not going to grant any more wishes. And God would say, no, I'm sorry, Debbie, but we got one more. And when you meet these kids, you're humbled. You're blessed. You're blessed to know them. We think we're doing something nice for them, but they're actually touching our hearts. They're doing something for us.
Those kiddos are very resilient.
Yeah.
Oh, tough cookies.
Yes.
They're fighters.
Yeah.
I've seen them face some stuff with more bravery than some grown men.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're brutally honest.
And women, grown women also.
Yeah.
It's mostly the men.
You know what?
You're
You
hurting my
haven't-
feelings.
I
Good.
didn't realize what a difference they made until I saw some grown bikers, tough guys,
Yeah.
tattoos, leather, bawling
Yeah.
because this
Yeah.
child just grabbed their heart.
I've seen that when I used to work and volunteer for candlelighters.
Yeah.
Big burly men in leather vests and tattoos and
And I'm very proud of the biker community.
Yeah.
They do a lot of charity work, just like the Lowrider Association. Do you remember, Charlie, when I started, and the first time I said, oh, let's go to the bikers, and the board was like, no.
yeah.
And then when about the Lowriders thing, they're like, no, Debbie, they're gangs. And no, come on, so we've improved. I
Yeah.
mean, you see people doing charity work with them all over.
A huge fraction of the charity work I see promoted in El Paso usually has to do with the Lowrider Club or the bike
biker
clubs.
community. They're
always
all
involved.
good people.
Well,
But,
that's-
there's bad everywhere, so you just have to ignore it.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned Mondo Espinosa and his wife with
and
EPT
yeah,
Cruising.
they're awesome.
Yeah, they do such a fantastic job with anything. And if you ask, and I'm sure any of the organizations would, but Mondo as an example, if you ask him for help, he's going to give you 100%
Well,
and pull in more.
Just like the Debbie thing, there's also the Vero thing. Mando's wife.
Yeah.
Every year, the bag's out. She's my secret Santa. Debbie, the church has got 40 turkeys. Do you have families for them? Because she knows, without a doubt, they're going to go to a needy family. And so every year, we've been doing this, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years, where I start getting calls, Debbie, we have a family out at Monte Vista. These are people that have fell through the cracks. This year was the best year of how many really needy families that got these turkeys and
Nice.
stuff. So they don't tell nobody that they do that.
Mondo's him and Veta would have to be a good couple to bring in one time.
Oh
too.
yeah,
They do
they've
some
been
good stuff.
amazing. And every Autorama, I was out there. That was one of a
Yeah.
great fun. They were there. Everywhere they are, we are. So
And bringing
lot
in
of
people,
respect.
yeah, and
Yes.
bringing in those that are going to help with them also. That's what I admire with
Well,
Mondo.
he's my guardian angel. I call him sometimes. They don't like me, and he's like, "It's okay, Debbie. Not everybody's gonna like you." And he's really a good mentor.
awesome.
Good.
Awesome. How much time do we got left in this podcast? We still
About
got some
40
time?
minutes.
40.
20.
Really?
No, we have 20.
Charlie says we're not recording
where
yet.
have I been?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Then you walk through this apartment doors, you see some scary, creepy
Well,
things
you know, if
happen.
there's anybody out there that wants to grant a wish, you want to teach your children how to make a difference, call us. We'd be more than happy to mentor you and find a child for you to help grant a wish to.
Yeah, pay it forward.
Pay it forward. That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
I'm throwing that challenge out there. I'm throwing that challenge of the next time. If you're listening to this podcast and you see somebody on the street corner asking for money, I'm throwing this challenge out there. Instead of giving to them, why not give Debbie a call and grant a wish instead? If you're not going to donate a monetary amount to the organization, how about some time? How about making that wish happen for somebody? It's so easy. And I saw where you were going with the iPad. If you're going to buy an iPad for somebody, you've got to load it up and make it theirs
Yes.
the minute they get it. Not
Yeah.
just, here's an iPad, now go get your music and
Well,
theme it
that's
yourself.
One of our sad stories, we had a wish. He loved Shakira. We did everything to get her to call this young man. So what we did was we loaded the iPad up with her songs and pictures. We presented it to him in the hospital, and he passed away 3 days later, and he had his little iPad with him. So,
Oh.
and that's another thing, guys. These wishes, we have to do them fast because sometimes time is not on our side.
Some are time sensitive.
Very.
You're making a life. I wrote this down. You're making a lifelong dream. You're making a lifelong memory. But the sad thing is sometimes it's not that long of a life for them.
God has his own plan, and sometimes we just have to understand that.
You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso. Oh, Debbie, thank you so much for coming in and talking
thank
about
you
this.
for
And if you
having
need
me.
more, anything else that we can do, absolutely. People can link into us to link to you guys as well.
Nice.
And you're local, so everything that's going to happen, you may be helping out somebody that you know in this community.
And we do have a Facebook page. It's
Yeah.
Reach for a Star El Paso. Or you can friend me, Deborah RUZ, and then go to my likes and also go through Reach
So
for a Star
you
there.
take friend accepts from anybody?
It's public.
crazy.
You know what?
Total
and
randos?
let
You
me
got
tell
some
you,
balls, Debbie.
I do big ones.
Well, she said 50. That's what I think that's what happens.
I just learned recently in the years that I'm very independent. Very proud of myself. But anyway, you said balls, and now I'm like,
Yeah, you're distracted.
I do get
She's
some
drooling.
creeps.
I was distracted by the hairy
Like a
nipples
cow.
myself, but
So,
It's like a Pavlov.
just,
who better to know?
Can you recap some of the events that you guys have that you and Reach for a Star has on a
my
regular
God.
basis? Because people
Yeah.
might be listening to this a year from now or 2 years,
Oh,
2 months
okay.
from now.
You have
So,
cornerstone events, yeah.
Yeah, what are
Well,
those big events?
the Easter, it's called the Extravaganza, and it's making a difference. And we invite all charities, not just Reach for Star. We invite Make-A-Wish, Candlelighters,
Yeah.
Gigi's Playhouse, A World for Children. We want all children to come to our events. We're not just exclusive to Reach for Star.
And that's March 31st?
That's this year. It's
This
it's
year?
always usually the
2018?
weekend before Easter.
Okay.
Our haunted house every year, Halloween. It's
That's
always
Halloween night.
no, it's the Saturday before
Saturday?
Halloween.
Okay.
We do that, and I'm
need to go
always
see
looking
that.
for. It's fun, and
wanna
and
go
we
see
have
that.
fog machine and strobe lights. And
Oh, you have
blood.
the animatronic stuff.
We
you have
have-
everything.
I will tell you, every year I try to get someone to buy me one
Big thing. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
On our wish list, we want to do movie in the park, so
Right.
we need a projector and a screen because
Okay.
we would love to do that. That's something Reach for Star would like to do. What
I
else?
have
What
one
else?
in my car.
Oh,
It's not
awesome.
mine, but maybe it fell off a truck.
Yeah.
A
So we
projector
do
or a screen?
Christmas every year. This year was our first Santa's house, and it was such a huge event. I'm hoping we can do it again.
You even
Oh,
had
is it?
for the Halloween one. You even had like blood in your fountain, right?
Yeah, we
You had
had
a
blood.
water fountain in your.
Then
Yeah.
see, let me tell you about
She has
Wish
a water
Kids.
fountain in her backyard, like custom built, and there was like blood coming down this fountain. It was
Really
awesome.
warpy.
Wow.
But you know why? The kids don't want to be treated like they're sick. They want.
Yeah.
That's why they like hanging out with Reach for Star. We don't treat them like they're sick. We bully them. We pick on them. We just.
It's a
I
regular
remember
childhood.
one of our wishes. He passed away. He was 18, and he had a brain tumor, and he was being disrespectful to his mom. And I said, I'm going to knock that tumor to the other side of your head if you don't behave. And his mom was like shocked. And he loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it because, you know, he knows he's sick. We don't have to coddle him. He wants
Right.
to be treated like a normal teenager. And God did take him home. But
You're spending so much time as a child like that. You're spending so much time either in a hospital or doing some sort of treatment that the last thing you want to do is not be in that environment and then still be treated
right.
like you're in it.
Well, you know, one of the number one wishes is iPads. And there's a reason for it because, see, when they're going through chemo and radiation, they cannot go outside. They can't go to events. So this is their eyes outside in the community on Facebook, on YouTube and stuff.
Instagram,
So that's really our number one wish that we get are the iPads now.
Wow. And you're always looking for that information. I implore, I'm begging people, please get a hold of, contact, because again, most importantly, if we're going to take anything away from this, it's local. You're helping out the community here, and if that's one thing that we've tried to establish with our podcast is local things happening in and around El Paso and Las Cruces and some of the surrounding
areas, yeah.
Juarez as well, right?
Yes. We buy our own T-shirts. We pay for our own business cards. I mean, we try really hard to be a good steward of the money for Reach for a Star. We don't have a lot of money, so we try to not spend it.
Right.
And don't you love that idea that other people do the wish and we mentor them and it doesn't cost us anything, just our time.
It's breeding more, charity into the community because a lot of people are dependent on going to an organization, and they might do menial stuff, help clean up things like that. But to actually teach people, these are the people in need. This is how you put together an event. This is how you start networking and collaborating with other organizations. That's what more people need to get involved with. It's not just go in and clock in for a couple hours and then you're done.
Right. I weed people out that come to volunteer for the wrong reasons. We want them there because they love the kids and they want to make a difference.
Not just because I'm putting in time.
Right.
Yeah. And if anything, it also shows that these organizations exist.
Yeah.
How many? I had no idea. I had no idea that this was going on.
Yeah, we're like a big secret.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolute. Any organization, any type of volunteer work or something for the public there. Anything else that you want to leave us with? Do you want to cover that we haven't?
I want everyone to wake up every day and want to make a difference. You can do it in so many different ways, and Reach for Star is one of those avenues. And and if you guys are looking for other charities, call me. I'm very generous in saying there's human trafficking shelters here. There's children's crisis centers, CPS. There's always a need out there. It's not just our charity.
Now, earlier you mentioned that you're looking for help with a website and all that stuff.
Yes.
So is that for Reach for a Star, or is that going to be for your
Oh,
own?
no. I never ask for anything for me. It's always Reach for a Star.
It's going to be for Reach for
Yeah.
a Star. Okay.
There you go, Charlie. You got the leads and connects there, yeah?
Yeah, we'll talk.
Good.
Yeah. Zip Zap IT, they actually donated 2 automated homes. They offer to look at us for the website. So I'm going to follow up with them too.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Erica?
You're
Covered?
so quiet,
Good?
Miss Erica.
I am.
Ask me anything.
I interjected when I thought I had something to say.
I was hoping you'd ask her more about the nipple hair or something.
It's called menopause.
I gotcha.
Really,
I
you
gotcha.
don't want to go
I know.
there.
For some reason, they had to drag the word men in there.
into it, right?
Yes,
The
yes.
worst change of a woman's life, and somehow a man is involved.
Well, it
Of course
is.
it is.
It
No
is.
idea.
You guys turn gray and get handsome, and we just fall apart. It's just.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Take your time, girl.
Yeah,
It's
either
coming.
way. You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso. Debbie, thank you so much for coming
You're
in.
welcome.
And I know
It's an honor to be here.
we're going to bump into each other at different locations and different events. If there's anything you need from me on a professional level, please
Thank
do
you.
not hesitate to
Thank
ask.
you.
Absolutely.
And come meet our kids.
I would
Come
love
to
to.
our events.
I would
Yeah.
love to and help out. At least be there at some point for the Halloween
Yes.
event. If
Oh,
anything,
it's a
I've got to see
lot of
that.
fun.
Have you been to the event?
Yeah, he
I-
volunteered
oh,
one
yeah.
year to help me scare the dickens
You
out
got
of the
the
kids.
spray on you and stuff.
I was actually part of the crew. I was actually trying to scare people. We had this plastic sheeting, and I was actually reaching out for people. And
We have a lion around the corner. It's,
Nice.
it's-
I'm telling you, the line literally goes around the block. I mean, it's crazy. And
That's awesome.
if you like a few years ago when Facebook started being more popular, you started seeing people upload pictures and tagging and stuff like that. And I mean, it's a whole production. It's insane. I love it.
That's great.
I love it.
Well,
That's
I'll look forward to trying to do something out there with you then, and any other time as
Great.
well. Please
Come
feel
to our
free to
Easter
contact.
event. Meet the kids. Come
Absolute.
see how crazy it gets at Easter.
Absolutely.
We
Thank
can-
you for hanging out with us.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso. Thanks, everybody.
You are listening to Stay Tuned El Paso with Victor Cruz and Charlie Moreno.
The best thing to happen to El Paso
Hey,
ever.
Facebook, thanks for joining us.